Hello and welcome to our October update. And today I'm joined by April from our sales team.
Thank you for having me.
Thanks, April. So look, April's joining us today because unfortunately Anthony's gone MIA since Collingwood lost the grand final a little while ago.
We haven't seen him for weeks.
No, he's just disappeared. No, look, in all seriousness, Anthony's he's actually taking a very well-deserved break and he'll be back on deck shortly. But some pretty exciting news for Anthony. So while he's been away, he's actually been named a finalist for the REIV Outstanding Young Agent of the Year Award.
Make sure to get that right.
That's right, yeah, a bit of a mouthful. But no, look, an amazing achievement by Anthony. We're all super proud of him and super excited for him. And look, it was a pretty tough contest from what I understand.
Yeah, he's one of 4 of a fair few hundred applicants.
Yeah, so look, an amazing achievement already by Anthony to become a finalist, but we're expecting the results to be announced over the next couple of weeks, so we'll definitely share that with you as it comes out.
And hopefully he brings them out of hiatus.
That's right, yeah, and that too. So look, today April and I basically just wanted to talk to you a little bit about what we're seeing here in the market, both from a sales and rentals perspective. And what our expectations are as well as we approach the festive season. So look, April, there's been a lot of media coverage recently about the Melbourne property and the Sydney property market as well softening, and some outlandish claims of 40% drops in values and things like that. Is it purely just speculation? What are you seeing in the market at the moment?
Thank you, Michael. Yes, there is plenty of news coverage on the doom and gloom of the property market softening. But what we've experienced is that we've entered into a mixed market. There shouldn't be too much cause for concern, as we've noticed a stabilisation in sales and the demand and supply for real estate coming back. So Anthony would have spoken about this in a previous video, but in the second quarter of the year, we did experience a pullback on supply and demand in real estate. What we're seeing now during open for inspections and speaking with potential buyers is that more so the investment mindset has come out. So people looking primarily for investments under the $300,000 mark, yielding 6% or more as a return. These are usually for people that have a bit more funds available. Over the coming months, we shouldn't see too much of a fluctuation, especially as Melbourne CBD apartment market doesn't experience as much of an impact as those less serviced areas.
No, so that sounds like a pretty positive story then, April. I think look, we're dealing with, I suppose, more educated buyers when it comes to looking for investment properties. They know what they're after. So if the right property pops up for the right price, they're going to be more inclined to buy it. That's the message that I'm getting from that.
Enough about the sales. What about the rentals, Michael?
So look, rentals have been great. So the team have been extremely busy. As I mentioned to you last time in the video, we've had a pretty significant change in system. So the team have been very much embracing that and I suppose adapting to the different types of ways that we're doing things. From the tenant perspective, it's been great because tenants have just been able to access their portal recently. So they're now able to see all of their information about their tenancy instantly through that portal. And the landlord portal will be made available hopefully within the next 4 to 6 weeks. We're just going through some beta testing at the moment, weeding out a few little issues, and we should be able to release that to market. So so look out for some communication around that as well. In terms of the market, what am I seeing? Look, July through September for us is typically pretty quiet. We typically have we typically have less properties being available on the market during that time, and also the number of inquiries, obviously based on the number of properties, does drop off pretty significantly too. But it's not out of the ordinary. It's pretty standard cyclical movement. But we are expecting the number of inquiries to increase as we approach November and December, because like I said, we typically see a lot of movement around that time of year. And we have already started to receive quite a few inquiries, surprisingly, for properties that aren't even available yet, that should become available in November, December. So it's looking really promising.
That sounds really good.
Yeah.
So I've heard you've been travelling around Australia a fair bit and speaking with other agents. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so look, I've been given a great opportunity to travel around interstate and speak to other agencies with Rockend. And look, that's been an amazing opportunity for, I suppose, not only us to go out and tell our story and what we're seeing in our marketplace, but also experience and understand what other markets are going through. So that varies from, I suppose, what's happening in Perth and what's happened in Perth over the last couple of years with a bit of a slowdown, through to the Sydney market that's been been super hot in terms of trying to get into purchasing or even just trying to rent a property in Sydney. It's almost impossible. So it's amazing seeing the contrasts in the markets across Australia. There's one theme that I've seen come through all of those discussions, and it's really around population growth. And obviously, it's the old adage, where the population is, obviously that's where the growth comes. And the states that have seen huge increases in population are the ones that are also seeing a huge amount of development activity, as well as seeing pretty low vacancy rates. And look, if I translate that to our market, obviously that plays out pretty positively, right? So we're expecting to have a higher population than Sydney in the next 7 to 8 years. So obviously we would expect that property would grow pretty significantly here in Melbourne, which is a positive story.
No, it's definitely positive. I think it aligns up pretty well with what I was saying with the sales, where we're seeing more investors coming out and trying to look for those rental properties. Yeah,
definitely. All right, so I think that's it from us this month. Look, thank you again for watching. And again, if you've got any questions, whether it be buying, leasing or selling, please feel free to contact us at any time.
Thank you.
Thanks.